My name is Namarie Gordon. I am a former Jamaican national volleyball player, both indoor and beach. I did so for 15 years. I moved to the United States 8 years ago just to start over life. We just need to grow up, and I had a huge learning curve that I needed to go through, and it brought me here. In getting here, I wanted to continue my passion of coaching. So I was introduced to a program through Colin Henry, known as All-Star Volleyball Empire. And at that time, it was him having his own program that really introduced me to a wider area of the sport of volleyball through coaching girls. At the time, I coached a team of 18s. From that team, I think we've had maybe 4 or 5 scholarship recipients that transitioned to college. That led me to winning. I think it was the first time that program actually won a major national event, which was the Capitol Hill Club Championships for 18s. I did not know what I was doing at the time. I did not know the significance of that. I did not know how impactful it would have been, given that it was an international, yes, it is in fact an international or national event. International in the sense of teams from Puerto Rico and anybody affiliated with USA Volleyball. So technically it's not, but me thinking crossing borders, it has something to do with something international. Needless to say, that propelled me to wanting to form my own program. I did so the following summer. I moved to an area of New York known as Orange County, where I started a camp. And from that camp, I met a few parents that just wanted to receive the services they got from the camp on a long-term basis in trying to get their kids to college. We started with 22 members, I believe, and over the years, we have helped almost 1,000 girls or more just learning the game the way I was taught, how to coach, and not just how I was taught how to coach, but how I would love to be coached if my coach was actually equipped with the experience and the knowledge of coaching in helping me to get where I needed to go. So over the years, we have won several national championships. We've won in Boston, we've won in Connecticut, we've won in Massachusetts. I've pretty much, as a coach, I think I've won every tournament that my team that I'm coaching or teams I've coached but not at a tournament have won on a national level. I think that we are known for going to tournaments and with the result in mind, thinking that we're going there to win. And that's how I prepare my athletes. Quite a few athletes. I just don't think that for me to speak about any one person would signify the body of work by everybody who brought us to this point. Our girls that transition from our program go to their own colleges and they are conference leading players. So it leads to us knowing that the level of preparation they receive not just helped us in our program, but also helped them to succeed on the college level, the national level as well. That's pretty much where we are. Today we have boys. Our first year as a boys program, I believe we put 4 or 5 boys in college, and they're going to play volleyball in school. This year we have opened up a lot more, and we've seen where it's almost a 50-50 split between boys and girls that have been coming forward and have been accepted in our program since we've started tryouts in July. So that's where we are today. The advice I give to any coach, that humility goes a far way. No matter how much you think you know, there is always somebody who is pushing more than you, trying to do better than you. It's incumbent of you to always consider yourself to be a student of the game. You can learn from anybody. You can learn from your athletes. You can learn from just watching other coaches and seeing where, if applicable to your situation, you can use what they're using in helping you to become a better coach. I'm a firm believer in not settling. I hate failing. Anybody who is familiar with my background know that I don't like 2 letters joined together. It's called no. I think when somebody tells me no, I do my best to turn my nose into yes. And when you get to a point where you never hear that word, you push some more so that you're tested in becoming a better coach, a better person. So you're constantly evolving. I also believe that you cannot be the type of coach you need to be if you don't have a way to connect to your players. So my advice also to young coaches is, in a professional way, try to always have some connection with your players that allows you to give them information in stressful situations that they can receive and use in helping themselves, and by extension them helping themselves will in turn help you to be more successful in that moment. I think that's key. Learning how to coach the individual and not necessarily the team is also something that's very important. So there are several things that you could look at in trying to build a body, and as a coach you are the person who keeps everybody in check. So you have to have that type of relationship with your athletes where you can communicate to them, the individual, and that message transcends throughout the team. My overall goal for this program, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I said to myself that there's a certain program in Texas that is known to be the best program in the country. We on the East Coast here in New York, we're not taken seriously because it's unfortunate that many coaches, as experienced as they are coaches who know what they know, but it doesn't mean that you know exactly what you're doing as far as coaching an athlete to become the best at what they're doing, as far as understanding how the body works, as far as technique is concerned, knowing how to coach and not cause injury to athletes based on the technique that you're using, knowing how to coach and doing it with a model known as the best practice of doing certain skills. If you take a look at the international game, you'll quickly realize that what's being taught in America is not what the typical person outside of this country learning the game is doing. Passing technique, certain defensive schemes, even many respects just how to hit the ball. It's a different way. And I think if people spend time coming outside of the box, they'll learn a lot more about how to impact on the game that they should.